Why is it that men enter into relationships when they know they are not ready? That is the topic in today's conversation. Hello, I am Cynthia Wright, creator and founder of The Waiting Room Life. And for whatever reason, I have seen over the past couple of months women asking that question online. Why is it that men enter into relationships when they know they're not ready? And for whatever reason, whenever I've heard a woman ask that question, I've always had like this counter question that plays out in my mind, which is, why didn't you know he wasn't ready for a relationship? Right? Like, why did it take you 2 years, 1 year, 3, 5, 6, 10, 15 years to figure out that this man was not ready for a relationship? And I can tell you for many women, the answer to that question is because you're not dating strategically. And let me tell you what I mean by that. When you, first of all, you should not even step in the dating arena not being clear of what your needs are, what your wants are, and what your deal breakers are. It's almost like, for some of you, it's like getting into an Uber, and instead of saying, I want you to take me to this specific place, it's like, oh, let's just drive around and I'll just see what kind of feels right, what kind of feels good. We'll just kind of, we'll just see where it's going. When you get into an Uber, you know exactly where you're going. And when you enter into relationships not strategic, not knowing what your needs are, what your wants are, and what your deal breakers are, that's how you waste time. That's how men are able to play in your face because it started with you, right? And I was thinking about when when me and my husband first got married. Now, I don't know about any of you, but I fantasized about what marriage would be like, right? I had never lived with a guy before I got married, and it was just like I just had in my mind that it was just going to be this wonderful experience. I was going to be cooking for him. We would never argue. It was just going to be so wonderful. And I remember, for whatever reason, this one fantasy stuck out in my mind. And I don't even know why it was a thing, but I just envisioned us going to the grocery store together. And we were just going to, just be kind of laughing and bonding as we're shopping for our groceries in the grocery store. And right after we got married, the first time my husband and I went to the grocery store, I was excited, right? Because this fantasy was about to play out in my mind. So we go out, get into the grocery store, we get our cart, and I had a list, right? And so I pull out this list, and I'm telling my husband, these are the things that, we need to pick up from the grocery store while we're here. And my husband was like, okay. He took the list out of my hand. He ripped it in half. He said, okay, you go get this, I'm going to get this. And he walked off. And when I tell you, I was so angry when my husband did that, because he ruined my fantasy. But here was the thing. With me, when I go to the grocery store, honey, I'm a touch a thing. I'm a look at the ingredients. I'm comparing prices and all of the things. My husband, no ma'am. My husband, when he goes in a grocery store, when he goes in any store, he knows exactly what he's looking for. He not touching all this other stuff. I don't care if he goes into the store and he flags somebody down. Hey, can you tell me where that is? He goes to it. He gets it. He's done. He knows what he's looking for. And when I'm saying that, when you step into the dating arena, you need to be just like that. You first of all need to be self-aware. Again, what your needs are, what your wants are, and what your deal breakers are. And you also need to know what it is that you're looking for in this person that you want to do life with. And so again, when I hear women say, why do men enter into these relationships when they know they're not ready? That's not the question. You are supposed to know when a man is or is not ready. You should have certain markers for you right? Strategically, as you're entering into these relationships, you're vetting these people that you're giving your time and attention to see if they're, first of all, do you even like them? Are they even marriage material? And so I feel like if you want to have traction, right, in your life, in your dating experience, do yourself a favor, right? You need to know what it is that you want your relationship to look like, and you don't settle for anything less. And then that way it saves you time, emotional energy, mental energy, all kinds of energy dealing with men trying to play in your face. And so if you start there, you will not be the woman asking, why is it that these men are getting into these relationships when they know they're not ready? Position yourself to know if he is or if he is not ready to marry. Amen. All right, ladies, that was a short little thing that was on my mind, and I will see you ladies in the next video.